getting cut out too, but my favorite part about all this is, are we mature enough for the conversations? And the answer is
overwhelmingly no. Overwhelmingly no. But I don't care anymore.
Yes, you do, man.
I don't. I'm here for the brothers, man. I'm here for the elevation and delineation of the black men, man, to become, to not get ruined by
IG hoes,
IG women, out of wedlock babies, like the places that trip black men up, marrying the wrong woman, marrying the first woman. It's so many mistakes, man. We're not really taught how to vet. Vet. I mean, I say it all the time. We don't really know how to vet women.
Woo! All right.
Then it's the wrong men talking, right? Like how many times we see clips of men that are sitting around talking about relationships, right? And they weren't even raised about their dads, right? Like how many times we see that? Like they've never seen a relationship ever.
And I'll show you a man that can't articulate dissatisfaction and unfulfillment in his own marital bed. You show me a man that punches his wife, any type of domestic violence, and I'll show you a man that cannot tell you he's angry, or the deeper root, he's scared.
I love when y'all have like other dudes on y'all podcast and they do the
Yeah. That means actually means I disagree.
I disagree.
But
this your platform.
Yeah, I'm not gonna expose you. We're not gonna disagree on air. And you know what's funny about that is I got added to a Twitter circle of like black guys or whatever, right?
Okay.
So we're talking about like, black male masculinity, things of that nature.
Okay.
And like how we could do better. And like when they added me, one of the first things, and here's the thing, they like the way they found me is just like comments of us going back and forth online. And one of the first thing I said is like, if I'm gonna be in this group or if we're gonna have this group, I was like, there's no way it can exist if we don't learn how to disagree with one another. Like in this space, like you need to be able to say what you want, and people need to be able to disagree with you, and then you're able to like figure out like, well, what's the answer then, right? This is how I think, right? This is how you think. How do we find that answer and that medium? And that's something that's lost, man. Like we don't let the D and F students take over the internet.
Bruh, I learn that every day.
There's no disagreements anymore.
It was a post. I won't be able to find it. It was 2 weeks ago. I referred to it last week about a guy getting online. I called it pander. I called it simping because he was talking about how he understands why women put men on child support. And he came from the notion of, hey, I have full custody of my daughter and I got an ain't shit baby mom. Cool. And so he went through and he was calling black men niggas, all this and that in the third, right? And so I said, yo, simping at his finest. I'm getting into it with some of the women. Well, some of the women are saying stuff about me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Once I go on your page and I see you and your son in your banner and you got his name in your profile with a heart and there ain't not one dude on your page, we don't argue. I don't argue with those women at all.
Well, I've clearly said one of the people I do not argue. I do not argue with people that have multiple fertility partners.
Facts.
Men or women.
Yeah,
right?
facts.
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 You're not. There's nothing that you're about to tell me about life when you have created a little human that has to grow up in a broken environment. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with you. Not about life. We can talk. We can talk about sports.
Yeah.
But we're talking about life. Like, no, man. One of the biggest things is being able to look at the mistakes you've made
and do better
and say, hey, avoid these mistakes, right? So
Facts.
when I talk to individuals and they're not trying to be responsible for anything, right? Everything is just other folks.
Yeah,
I'm good. Like, what conversation are we about to have?
Facts. And so one young lady, she said, "Can you please explain to me why this is a foolish or silly statement? The true definition of simp." So I already knew what time it was. When you go to Webster on an urban word, cool. Like when you do that, I already know what type of time it is. Plus, I went through your page. I already did my research before I responded to you.
Again, why are they so upset with the word simp? That would be like us being upset at the word cunt, right? Do men really care that women call other women cunts?
No.
We don't even care. Like, we don't care.
That is a funny comparison.
Yeah, so like when we call dudes simp, we like what makes them so upset, and what makes them so upset is they need the free shit, right? Like that the simp provide. Like if it was a simp free environment, then they'd be responsible for a lot more stuff.
And so I go through why he's a simp, and I said, hey, this is pandering. I said, I don't believe he believes in this, and I said, just to give you an example why I don't believe I said, two things let me know he don't believe this. A, he's a full-time father, and his baby mom ain't shit, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I said, I know he don't believe this because outside of her being a good mom, I said, would he have it the other way where he's an ain't shit dad and his daughter's just in the middle of whatever? I said, no. So he wouldn't have it the other way. I said, so he's doing his job. I said, I'm tired of patting people on the back for doing their fucking job. I said, 2.
Who else supposed to raise his kid?
Not us.
Yeah, he's supposed to raise his kid. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
He's doing what he's supposed to. Yeah. I said, then on top of that, he literally wrote 2 days. I love doing research on niggas before I responded. I said 2 days before he made that post, he said, I got a post and I think it's going to get me off the internet.
So his love language is words of affirmation, basically, right? He just needs people to come in, pat him on the back.
Yeah.
For doing that.
Then she pulled out the how you know he was talking about black dads. He could have been talking about all dads.
Well, he very well could be, but the majority of who's the poster child for ain't shit dad?
Well, and you called us niggas. I'm just leaving. I told her that. I literally wrote that out. Yeah. I was like, so anyway, but I've learned not to argue with y'all. Y'all are cool. Now, back to this pastor. Who is this pastor again?
No idea.
Brianna knows him because she always talks about him. She thinks he's cool.
He panders. I mean, of course you think he's cool if he panders. I mean, if there's one like the Muslim lady that panders to men online, right?
Oh yeah.
The one that I be sending clips where she be saying saying the most ridiculous
she
stuff.
She is pretty though.
But she panders, right? I get it, right?
Like, and I like her eyebrows.
Yeah. No, we're talking about 2 different women.
Oh.
You're thinking about the lady with her name start with the S. I'm talking about the lady that be saying like women, you know, your man can have another wife.
Yeah, she got nice eyebrows.
Oh, maybe we are talking about the same woman. Okay, Anyway, she's pandering though, right?
Oh, fact.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one looks at her and just be like, yo, she's really, really like getting like, no, she's pandering, right? So I hate when people have people that they follow and they don't be honest. Like, yo, he's pandering. Like when you bring up this idea of like, yo, if a man cheat, he just can't control himself, yada yada yada. Look. I don't condone cheating, but I also understand that it happens, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't see many people leave for cheating.
Nah, I don't either.
So y'all are overestimating how bad cheating is.
Hey, at least he wasn't horny this week. I gotta give him that.
Yeah.
But if the Lord wakes him up tomorrow, he has another opportunity, and I don't see him slowing down. Speaking of cheating, Cardi is on the internet. I think Cardi heard the podcast. And I said, Meg, we need to get Meg off the internet. And I think Cardi said 1 second.
Yeah.
And Cardi is upset because Offset has allegedly been cheating. And, you know, at first I'm like, man, here we go again. But then I heard Cardi do that cry on the internet, you know, where, you know, it's like I'm crying from inside, my throat. I am got all this energy and I am crying. And part of me felt bad for Cardi. But the other part of me was like, I didn't expect less. I mean, you've been taking this man back. He been playing your face. You know what I'm saying?
Offset has 3 baby mamas now?
I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it look, man, I'm not about to get upset about a relationship between a former stripper and a dude who's made, 3 baby mamas, right? Like that relationship did about as well as it could do.
Yeah. So my thing is this. He got I don't know. It's too long to figure it out. But I look at it like this. It's like I'm looking at 2 super rich individuals and in the entertainment industry. Y'all know my feelings. Don't be surprised when you get cheated on by an entertainer, an actor, or an athlete. I'm sorry. In that business, they don't even see cheating as normal people do. And I think cheating has become depending on who you are, it is becoming one of those things where it's like, yo, this is just a way of life. Yeah. And so here's my other thing. So I feel for Cardi because, there's this narrative that's running around that, Cardi did so much for Offset. And I think people are looking at how the race ended and not how it began.
Yeah. Offset then had Cody with girlfriend Oriel, the rapper then fathered Kalia with rapper Shia, and Cardi B. Yeah, so she's the third baby mama.
Cool. Oh, well then you already know my feelings.
Yeah, she's a former stripper. He has 2 other kids that he's made out of wedlock. She's the third baby mama. The relationship did as well as it could possibly do.
And my rule is when you the third baby mama, Mike is only going to give a pass to the first one. I'm letting y'all get off with 2. When you the third one, it's on you. Now, here's my thing. I do feel people looking at the end of the race with Cardi.
Yeah.
Cardi is worth, anywhere between $50 to $80 million.
Yeah.
Offset is worth a cool 30.
Yeah, they're rich. They're fine.
Super rich. And I don't think people understand when Offset met her, she was on reality TV. She wasn't worth any money.
And the Migos were doing their thing.
The Migos was the top rap group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he had that money then. He was worth tens of millions of dollars then. If you don't believe me, go look up Cardi and her issues in Chicago with the real gangsters and look at who got her out of that shit. His name was Offset. You know what I'm saying? I think people got to understand, we don't get a Bodak Yellow if Cardi was having those issues with street dudes who really street dudes. You know what I'm saying? I also look at it like this. Offset, you're an idiot in my book. And the reason why you're an idiot, dog, is because any woman that you deal with now, and I know we're going to talk about finances once we start this pod, any woman that Offset deals with now is going to cost him money.
Yes.
You are married to a woman who is worth, at least twice as much as you were, who can get you into any room you want to be in.
Well, I mean, and I'm pretty sure Cardi has a lot of latitude with what she allows Offset to do.
Oh yeah, and I think people, I don't like to jump into people's business, but she said, "Yo, I'm into girls. You wild out." You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this: any woman that Offset deals with now is going to cost him more than it was.
Definitely going to cost him more than Cardi.
Because they don't bring nothing to the table.
Dude, I would tell one of my friends, I was like, one of my biggest, I won't even say it was a regret, but something that I should have did when I was younger, right? Like in my late 20s, I was like, man, where would I be in life if instead of me going to like Miami and Vegas and New York and DC, right? Like if I would have took my ass down to like Rio. And Cartagena, right? If I went down to those places, right, I was like, it'd have been a different life. But sometimes you don't know what you don't know, right? Like I was stuck here in America doing the American things, and I think Offset, is like he has the finances and the resources, but he's stuck in America doing the American things, right? Like, dude, if I'm worth $30 million, I am the perfect husband when I'm home in the United States.
Facts.
But when I'm in Rio, I am and nobody knows who I am.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, people know who he is.
Yeah.
Because Migos is a world-renowned rap group. But I'm like, I don't get why a lot of these guys get in so much trouble at home, man, when you could just hit the road, bro. Like, especially when you have a wife that sort of gets it. Like, all right, my husband's successful. He has an appetite for, for certain things. He has access. There's going to be things that I have to deal with and tolerate. Yeah. I do not get why you would embarrass your woman here. Yeah. But again,
with broke chicks.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Bruh.
I don't get that, man.
You can't get caught up with a brokey. Sorry, dog. That's to me is so weird. Yo, I want to welcome everybody to episode 121. We are moving. We are freaking moving. And then somehow me and Mike gonna figure out a way to speed up this podcast where we can get to the 300s by the end of next year. Yeah. However that looks, I don't know. I do want to welcome y'all in. It's almost the end of the year. Mike's birthday is coming up. He don't want y'all to do nothing for his birthday, but we will be celebrating Mike's birthday. One of my favorite thing about Mike is he lets me argue with him anytime, any day.
Any day.
He's willing. Mike is that person in the meme who be like, yo, I'll argue with you for $1 right here. Like, come change my mind.
Yeah, I love a good debate.
Yeah, I wake up some days and I just be like, yo, LeBron sucks. And then he'd be like, all right, let's have an argument. But, I don't believe LeBron sucks. Let's get that out the way. I don't want nobody killing me. Dad tip of the week. I'm here to say it. Do not allow your mistakes to define you. No matter if you're a mom or a dad. I think a lot of times we go through life, and especially me, because I do a lot of maternity shoots, I have people come in and it sucks to see the dads there sometime who kind of like, yo, maybe I haven't been the greatest man. Maybe I haven't been the greatest father up until this point. And I'm like, bro, once that baby get here, you can redefine yourself. You can redefine yourself tomorrow. You got to start on it. You got to push through it. Please do not let your mistakes define you. Become a better person. I think that is a tough thing. I look at some of the mistakes I made, and mind you, it's been a couple mistakes in 2.5 years. But, I try every day to say yo, we can do better. One thing I got to stop doing as a dad, as far as mistakes is saying, hey, he might not remember the opportunity, so let's not even do it. And sometimes just to see that joy and happiness right then is all the way worth it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And sometimes you just got to say, you know what? He won't remember this. But you know what? We'll come back because I will remember it. I get to tell. You know, I think it's so cool when my dad tells me stuff. He be like, yo, I remember I took you here. Or we did this. And you so excited. And I'm like, yo, when did this ever exist? But it's a joy for my father to be able to tell me. So, yeah, that's my dad tip. That's some mistakes that, you know, I'm working on to make sure shit don't happen ever again. But, you know.
Speaking of mistakes.
What? Oh, Anthony Edwards. Bro, BBLs is going to get y'all. It's the death of like wealthy men.
Dude.
Wealthy black men. I got to say it. It's like.
You're right. It's wealthy men.
I mean, shit, not even that. These young boys be falling over for a BBL. A bad one, too.
I don't like BBLs. I like natural body. I mean, but you know what? It's like the clip that was on Twitter like 2 weeks ago. They was asking all the men, you prefer natural BBL? Mm-hmm. All the men were like natural. And then they asked all the women, do you think men prefer natural BBL? And all the women was like BBL. And then all the women in the comment section are saying that the men saying natural or lying. It's like, no, men by and large prefer natural bodies, right? But I mean, you know, will a dude go and hit one?
Facts.
Yeah, of course.
Will he go raw in one? Smash. Clearly. So if you do not know, Minnesota Timberwolves star, he the biggest star on that team?
Oh, yeah. Anthony Edwards got that dog in him, man. He's a baller.
Anthony Edwards is a hooper. Anthony Edwards is, I'm projecting. This is Gavin. I'm not Woj. I'm not Mark Spears. I ain't even Stephen A. I'm projecting that he's easily gonna make what, $400 to $700 million in his.
Oh yeah, he already
career.
did like 250, right?
Yeah. So he's gonna at least get two more.
So yeah, he's gonna get another big deal.
So we talking about a young lady exposed him yesterday about he asked for an abortion, and the thing is she's pregnant, so she says.
Yeah.
You know, he don't know.
Yeah,
and we don't get to his stupidity.
You got to grab those. You got to reverse image those pregnancy tests.
Oh, facts.
And then they send a text message sometimes.
Look, we're gonna get to it because I want to
reverse image that shit.
I want to have a real question.
Yeah.
Are we telling the truth today?
Yeah, we're telling the truth today.
All right. Once we get to the new year, we can lie on that pod. Is there a right or wrong way to ask for an abortion? Because he offered $100K for her to get an abortion, and she went through, hey, I don't want to get one. I've already had one. I feel horrible about it every day, even though she's not making precautions not to get pregnant again. But whatever, that's not none of my business, and that's her choice. I mean, if you see a lick, you hit it.
He a mark.
Yeah.
I mean, these athletes be marks, man. So athletes and rich, entertainers, they're marks.
But is there a right or wrong way to ask for an abortion?
No, I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I think men have to become more responsible. Like, we have to start asking a woman, like, yo, like, are you ovulating? Right?
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because here's the thing, you already did have sex, right? These men really don't understand the position that they're in, right? Like, if I'm worth $250 million, right, and I walk in and I'm like, yo, let me see your Clue app, right? Okay. You know what I'm saying? And she'd be like, you know, let's say I don't trust, you know, her Clue app, right? Because she's trying to get pregnant. Yeah. Like, again, like, dude, you're a millionaire. I know you have an assistant. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, have your assistant go get ovulation test strips, right?
Might think that shit works, but whatever.
No, dude,
clearly it don't.
Dude, it does. It's just that guys are too afraid to honestly.
Mike, if you give a chick a strip, both of y'all look crazy. First of all, I don't believe
that you think that looks crazy than paying $100K for an abortion?
Well, I wouldn't sleep with somebody I don't trust.
I look.
So we can start there.
We could agree with that, but what we're talking about is these guys are marks, bro.
Yeah, so we do agree that they don't care about that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
I'm talking about we agree that they don't care about sleeping with people they may not trust. That's
yeah. So we definitely agree.
Well, we agree that. So here's the thing. I do agree. Like, yo, let me see your phone.
Yeah, like yo, show me your Clue. Let me see if you're not ovulating before I smash raw.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there.
If you're gonna smash a woman raw, man, like, yo, if you don't want a child with her, and I think that's fair, right? Because he clearly said in a text message, like, look, I don't want to be a dad. Yeah, I don't want a child with you. So he was honest.
I don't think he was wrong, to be honest.
Yeah, he was honest, man. It's just that as guys, like, you do have to understand, like, man, you are a lick.
Facts. I personally don't think he is wrong. I think is there a right or wrong way to ask for abortion? Absolutely. I got a story to tell, but I don't know if I can tell it. But I told Mike, I'm like, I remember I got in a situation, and I remember I wanted to have a conversation with a lady. I'm like, yo, you can't have this kid. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. And me and her went through it, and it was a nasty conversation. Hopefully she don't have that phone no more.
Yeah.
But you know what happened? Bitch wasn't even pregnant.
Yeah.
That was the joke. You know what I'm saying? But it was one of them things where I was like, shit ain't adding up. But you know what she kept asking for? Money. And I was just like, I can't, something ain't right. So I just pushed buttons till we got to the point of,
you are being a lick. So it's like, as men, we have to be smarter than that.
And so with him, I look at it, I always go back to early 2000s before Kanye like was really, really talking too much shit. And he said Def Jam was paying out $250,000 for abortions for their artists. And I just remember that just being mind blowing to me that, chicks probably could get $250,000. Like then, like $250K back then. And now, so when I see a basketball player who's going to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars one day saying, I'm going to give you $100K, cool. Now, Anthony Edwards, let me tell you where you got to be smarter and men got to be smarter. Mike already told y'all, they sending y'all Google images of pregnancy tests. Like, you got to figure that out. Also, bruh, send the video.
She could have been taking anything.
I would have sent the video of me taking aspirin.
But I mean,
come on.
But this is the thing, right? If he's that rich, like, he can have her go to an attorney's office wherever he's at.
Facts.
Like, but
he wiring the money.
But the truth of the matter, it was unclear if it ever got sent, which might be why she's pissed off.
Facts.
But I mean, as guys though, I mean, we have to be smarter. But also, we got to stop looking at what Tyreek Hill's doing, Anthony Edwards doing. Like, these guys. These cannot be the examples that we're using for black men, right? Facts. Like, because the majority of us are not this reckless.
Nah, and we're not this rich or this reckless.
Yeah, rich or reckless. Like, both of those guys are really, really, rich and really, really reckless like now.
Yeah.
It's not the majority of black men.
Facts.
So we got to stop taking on the chin like, this is what we doing, asking women to, have abortions and take, abortion pills and things of that nature and playing beads.
Send the video.
Like, that's not what the majority of us are doing. But hey, y'all guys though, be smarter.
And to the ladies, if a dude straight up tell you early on that he don't want a kid, you can't get on the internet crying later about how he ain't taking care of his kid.
They're gonna do that.
They are gonna do that. The reason why I said it, I ain't saying he's right. I mean, if you make a child, you gotta do your responsibility. I just don't want you on the internet crying about it because he told you early, and then you made the decision to go through whatever. You just take his ass to court, get your money. We got to start having a conversation about how babies are made, man. Like, not like babies aren't just made during sex, right? There's people that want kids right now that's having all the sex in the world and they can't have children. Facts.
Right? So we do need to have a question at some point about how babies are made. And maybe if we was more clear about it, it'll stop happening, quote unquote, accidentally. I don't think she was accidentally pregnant. I think she definitely was like Anthony Edwards or bust.
Another woman with a BBL who was treated poorly. Yo, y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna learn what these BBLs do to y'all. You getting cheated on if you got a BBL.
I mean, I don't know. I don't.
Yes,
I don't
you
care.
are.
I don't care for them.
A bad BBL get you cheated on, man. I'm sorry. It's just natural. It's just the truth. Jonathan Majors. I can't wait to stop talking about this nigga.
This y'all boy.
He ain't my boy. I mean, I ain't got no problem with him. I ain't gonna lie. I only seen him in the second Ant-Man or the third one. Wasn't that impressed. Apparently he was in Loki. I thought it was kind of weird. I ain't go see Creed 3 because
Loki was good.
Yeah, I
love him as an actor, but I told y'all earlier this year that I didn't really like the way he kind of went off on men talking about masculinity and talking about how masculinity was fluid and all these other things, with the photographs and like him understanding that, at the end of the day, he is an image, for black men, and him saying basically, well, I'm just going to do me, right?
Yeah, well, I think, okay, I do think he understands he represents black men.
I do, but he clearly said, I'm going to do me. Right?
Yeah, well, that's everybody. Everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Like, we like that. Like, yo, I represent black men, but I'm still going to do me. I'm going to be me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my shit. So I ain't mad at that. And I know we've had plenty of conversations about the whole masculinity shit and the fluid shit and the flower shit. I still don't got a problem with that photo shoot. It's whatever. Ebony did what I expect Ebony to do, and a dude who's about to rise the ranks in Hollywood is going to do what they tell him to do. They is whoever you want them to be.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. I look at it, you know, if you do not know, because you have to know, whoever is picking out the pictures of Jonathan Majors on this press run of him being found guilty, you have a sick, twisted sense of humor. These are the worst. Look, he looks sick in these pictures.
Well, they have to, because they have to make him look guilty, despite the fact that he really wasn't found guilty of anything outside of accidentally hurting her by putting her back in the vehicle in the middle of the street in New York City.
Yeah, he was aggressive, I guess, with her. Anyway, he was found guilty. Now, the charges sounded like bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, the charges was
but you can't put
back
your hands
in the car.
You can't put your hands on white women.
Well, here's the thing. This is a dirty little secret. You can't really put your hands on women on camera, general, period.
And they can't be white.
And if they report you, you're going to get arrested. You're going to have to go through the process, right?
Facts, especially if they white.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay there.
So that doesn't change. But again though, right? We kind of saw this coming.
Saw what coming? Him being found guilty?
Well, him being vilified. Regarding this, the moment it happened, right? Like the moment it happened, we never thought was like, yo, he gonna get out of this,
scot free.
Yeah.
I guess I do feel bad for him. When I say I feel bad for people, it's not that I feel, like somebody help him. I feel bad because you made your choices because you're doing you.
Yeah.
And you got to live with them choices because you decided to do you. And in the turn of it, no matter what was said to Jonathan Majors, black men did feel away. Even if it was a 50-50 split.
Well, yeah. Brothers trying to defend him.
Well, before that, when you made the comments about masculinity, black men did feel away.
Yeah.
Some of us, like even me, in agreeing with what he was saying, I could understand what he was saying. I ain't say I liked it. I ain't saying I agree with him, what he's saying. But some of the shit look, I came on this podcast straight up and said it. When you got up there and said, yo, these men won't say that to my face, I agree with you. Because a lot of y'all niggas do say shit on the internet, and when a regular person is in your face, you are silent, you turn your head, you act like you don't see him. So when it's a dude who's 6 foot, buff as shit, and he's super rich, meaning he can make you disappear before you get to your car, you definitely ain't saying shit. So I agree with it. But here's the thing. I thought it was corny.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So when you do that and it's a split on black men, and then when you lean so far into what black women are feeling, which I'm cool with that. But you got to deal with once you put a hand on a woman and women saying, hey, no, we turn our back on you. Or they want to give you grace and space. Air quotes.
Well, he's not really being, not a lot. I don't really see a lot of grace online when it comes to him.
Oh, I did air quotes. Grace and space.
Outside of, I do see brothers saying it, and I do see people, reiterating your point, right? Like, yo, can't put your hands on a white woman. I don't think you really can put your hands on any woman, but I think men got to, like, here's the thing, right? If we go back and we look at him talking about, hey, I'm trying to build something here. I need you to understand your position, right? Similar to a Michelle, similar to a Coretta, right? That was the opportunity for him to leave. Because as a man, if you don't leave when you're trying to build something and the woman isn't listening to you,
she will tear that shit.
This moment is coming.
Fact.
And I think that needs to be the lesson here. Is like, yo, like as a man, once you put your foot down, once you say no, that's it. If she cannot get in line with that, you got to let her go.
Facts.
He lets her go. He never has to deal with this right here.
Yo, if only Tory Lanez and Jonathan Majors would have listened to this podcast.
You got to put your foot down, bro. And I get it. That's hard for men to do.
And now Marvel look corny. I'm saying it. Marvel, y'all look corny. I ain't mad at you because I understand that. What's the slogan of the NFL? Like, the shield is bigger than anybody.
Yeah.
And I understand Marvel, Disney is like, yo, nobody bigger than the company. But Marvel acting like a third degree assault and harassment is like grounds for termination when, we see what they made with Iron Man.
Yeah, I think this has more to do with the bottom line of those comic book movies seem not be selling as well than it has to do with Jonathan Majors right now. I think this is an excuse.
Yeah, and that's why I was telling somebody else. I was like, yo, Marvel been shooting blanks for a minute.
Yeah. They have not had a great year.
They have not. I don't know what happened with the Russo brothers. If whatever their contract was, y'all need to double it and bring them back. You need to get Robert Downey Jr. Back. You need to go get Captain America. You need to bring his ass back, and you need to hurry up and get Wolverine in one of these next movies because the shit is not there, bro. And it looks bad. It is like people are just not interested anymore, and it sucks when you kill off people in movies as you supposed to, but you don't have the backup plan. And if your backup plan was Kang, which I was, I follow a bunch of people, cool people that's.
I think they're gonna bring them back though. I think
they got to because from what everybody else is saying is like, yo, this is the storyline that we want.
I think they're just doing the right thing now, and then next summer you'll see all these things come back.
They gonna have to because this shit is not hitting. It sucks. Let's get into finances. Wait, where to post that? What's the post you found?
The lady that was like, gosh, we got to find this.
I know you texted to us. Yo, if you do want to come on the podcast next year, as far as on the playbook, or if you want to sit and argue with Mike online, please DM us. Let us know. If you think you about to come on this podcast to promote your shit, there's a fee.
I can't wait to get married and give my husband control over our finances. I don't even want to see a bill. Just let me know how much I can spend every month, baby.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, I mean, no, I don't have any problems with that. Most women do want to hand over all the control in the relationship to a man. Most women don't want to be married.
Yeah, I about to say, I ain't gonna clip you and let you get flamed up for it.
Yeah. Most women don't want to be married. And here's the thing. So I sent that out to several young ladies, right?
Okay.
And I'll be honest, like the young ladies that are married, they were just like, yeah, like I ain't got no problems with that.
Yeah.
And the young ladies who, don't really seem to be heading toward marriage, they had a problem with it.
In my house, I'm over a majority of our finances. Part of that is when I met my wife, we had the finance conversation when we was dating. Like, not even dating. We was just kicking. Yeah. I remember our first conversation. We was watching one of them, you know how people be, I'm a school teacher, I'm a truck driver, be some white family in the Midwest. And they be like, yeah, our budget for a home is $3 million, right? We was watching one of them dumbass shows. And anyway, I asked my wife about her credit score. And her face just went blank. And her credit score wasn't bad, but she was like, yo, I've never had a man ask me that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. If we ever go further, I do want to have that conversation. You ain't got to share it with me now, but I at least have no problem with working with you to get it where you want it to be. So when we do get married, we good. Because I have no problem with sharing mine and letting you understand where I'm at. And that was our first conversation. And since then, our rules, to be fully transparent, my wife sends me the money that whatever her contribution is, she just shoots it over.
Yeah.
And so in her mind, going back to that, the rest of her money, she just do whatever she wants with it. I don't care. I don't pay it no mind. And I do look at that as like, hey, if that's what you want and that'll make a successful marriage for you, cool. Because some places, I grew up in a household where my mom was over the finances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right. I think it's whatever works best for, the couple.
Yeah.
Facts. But I definitely say a lot of guys, pandering like it should be, 50-50. She wants. Oh, bruh. What
works in my house would not work in your crib. What works in your crib, I wouldn't even allow that shit to even get off the ground. I'm gonna just throw it like that. Christian Keys, man. He said one of the top dogs assaulted him. Man, you can't laugh at victims, man. He said one of the top dogs sexually assaulted him. He said they were black. You know
what? This is why I don't have a problem with it, is because if it is an allegation, don't throw somebody up under the bus if you're just clout chasing.
Well, it's only like 4 of them.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
If something did happen, then I think he needs to report it. If there's actually abuse happening. But if this is just clout chasing, if this is just you having a bad day, I don't like it.
I've always had a problem with accusations that don't have a name on the bullet. I've always had a problem with that.
I agree.
I've said that plenty of times on here. The reason why, and I'll give the perfect example. I said this probably one of the episodes Mike deleted. I didn't like when Keke Palmer went back on the Breakfast Club and said, hey, I was talking about Trey Songz.
Yeah.
And for me, I always go back to, I wonder how many women suffered because of Keke holding on to the name and not saying, hey, Trey Songz did X, Y, and Z. Now, Trey Songz came out defending himself and Keke backed up, but that's not the point. I always go back to the story of, I think it was Amanda Seales. And she said she had issues with a man and she didn't want to rename him. And my problem is always under the guise of, I'm trying to protect black men. This is my way of protecting them. And some people do it that way. But I always go back to, if you put a name on that bullet, then how many women did you save?
Well,
but you got to still deal with the consequences of putting a name on a bullet.
And are you just getting sympathy too?
Absolutely. So when I look at this video of this brother and you're talking about a man, first of all, it ain't but so many. We can guess. Black men in Hollywood. Black men in Hollywood is who? Tyler Perry, Robert Smith, 50 Cent, and we got one more.
Well, he said billionaire.
50 Cent is gone. So now we got three. You know what I'm saying? But even if we include the millionaires, it ain't but so many black men that is in Hollywood that is over shit, right? So it's only like 4 or 5. Now we're going to billionaire. We naming it down to 3. And you currently work for Tyler Perry, so it look bad.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know, man. I hope he gets the help. I seen a lot of people championing Terry Crews. You remember when he came out and said the same thing? He said it was a man in Hollywood and people laughed at him.
Yeah.
This guy isn't getting laughed at. Mind you, Terry Crews had some issues where he was coming in on black women and they got him the fuck up out of here. So, it is what it is. I don't know how I feel about no name accusations. I feel bad and I hope anybody that is a victim gets the help that they deserve, though.
Agree. And I hope it's not, but again, I hope it's not clout chasing and allegations.
Facts.
All right. The top 10 zesty, sassy things men can do. Number 1.
Okay.
Blocking a woman.
Is that sassy or is it sassy or zesty or neither?
You know what? From social media, I don't think that's zesty.
Nah.
Because people like take your pictures and like do stuff.
Yeah.
Blocking on your phone though, a little zesty.
Yeah. It's sassy for sure.
Let's see here. Wanting to be chased by a woman.
It is men that's like that. That is sassy.
Is it sassy to be wanting to be desired?
They didn't say desired. They said chased.
Chase. Yeah, I don't need a woman to chase me.
Yeah.
Using women lingo, it's given. Period.
All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Women, y'all gotta have a discussion with the gay boys, cause y'all literally steal all that shit from them. So that literally comes from men. Now, is it zesty if you saying this is a straight man using? Cool, whatever. But it's a lot of this shit that these women get, and they got it from their gay boys, and the gay boys know it. That's why they always say, "Yo, y'all need us." But y'all really don't like them. They really don't like y'all. I'm gonna let that go.
I don't really use those type, but let's see it. Asking a woman for money or going 50-50 on bills. Is that zesty?
That's neither.
That's not zesty.
Yeah.
No. Saying men are the prize.
Nah, I say that shit.
No. I don't really see men saying a lot of that, but I get when it's said. Arguing back and forth with a woman.
I do that. The last one is a joke. I say that to piss y'all off. I argue with women every once in a while. Not on the internet, though. I don't believe
there's no other way to have a conversation.
Yeah, we can't debate.
Treating homeboys better than a girlfriend or wife. Men don't do that.
Men don't do that. And if they do, they don't have a girlfriend or a wife long.
Talking down on women on podcasts.
They gonna say we do that.
Yeah. Asking what do you bring to the table? No one does that. Trying to tell women how to dress, live, act.
Yeah, that's from the.
None of these are zesty. I'm sorry.
Nah, none of them is zesty. But it's funny because there's certain things that men just can't do, or they be seen as zesty. I want to know who made that list.
I don't know. Probably a woman.
Maybe. you know. Yo, let's get to sports, man. Before we get to the real sport talk, is Brock Purdy the MVP?
Yes. Keep going.
LeBron James, he did not hear the podcast. They hung the banner before he heard the podcast.
That's insane.
So that's what I'm gonna go with that. They hung that shit, and it's literally insane. Up there. They had
I gotta Google that,
bro. They did an unveiling of it. They had the trophy down there like they literally won the championship. It is funny. I mean, I will say this: I'm not surprised they have to sell this tournament. They need the advertising dollars, and it was super successful. You can't have your biggest team, biggest player, whatever, not do it. You see it?
That is insane.
Yeah, man, they hung that shit. They didn't care about. They heard the podcast after they already had it up there. So it's crazy. What the hell is Kirk Franklin and not Kirk Franklin? What is Shannon Sharpe doing?
Dude, I think Shannon is showing why you need to be in a relationship in your 50s.
Shannon is showing me, I'm going to give Unc some grace. I don't know if he's engagement chasing. I know we love to seem like, certain people don't do that. I don't agree with that. I do believe once you get into the entertainment community world, you realize how much Shannon's going to make way more money now than he ever did playing football.
Facts.
So if I believe a man will go out there and put his mental health, his physical health, his future on the line for football, I do believe he say, wait a second, I can make more money by just saying some, maybe, a lot of times we say shit on here, but we don't, sometimes we might not have thought this idea fully out, which is why we have to come back on the next week and correct ourselves, exactly. Right? So I do believe sometimes, or it's a half-ass idea, or we making a joke, and then I do that. But anyway, he sat down with Kirk Franklin, which to me was a great interview. I love the part of, I felt bad for the part of when Kirk Franklin talked about how he gave 100% of his publishing over on his first deal.
That was insane.
Because he hired a real estate lawyer instead of an entertainment.
That was insane.
And this is the same album that got silver and gold on it, which is a staple in his catalog.
Yeah. His first album is probably his best album.
Maybe. I have to go back through it. You know what I'm saying? Never mind. I do want to go back to my old church, but I ain't going on the back road, man. We got to figure that out. If y'all can make me a deal, I'll come back.
Hey, man, just go have a seat. You'll be good.
What does that mean?
All right, let me go to the only part that really matters. All right, here we go.
Our own insecurities, right. A lot of the ways that we were raised.
What's a good place to take someone on the first date? There's this thing, this viral moment with the Cheesecake Factory.
I saw it.
What's a good place to go on a first date, and how much should one spend?
Okay.
I think the best place to go on a first date is to ask her where she want to go.
Oh, no. No.
Why? Don't they say that they want you to plan everything from start to finish?
She says, I want to go to this 5-star restaurant where you already know if you just order the water, it's $50.
So what's wrong with her saying that? What's
wrong with me saying no? No.
So first of all,
right, it's a long clip. Y'all should go watch the rest. Who's right? Who's wrong?
I think that's a man that's not married and a man that's been married too long trying to tell people what to do in today's day and age.
Okay.
That's all I got.
What?
That's all I got.
I understand one of the funny stories, this woman is a whore. I hate her. I don't really rock with her, but I got to tell the story. I remember when we was in college and it was a girl I was messing with, and I remember we was trying to kick it. We was like, we used to date, whatever. It's the chick who I always tell the story about who was sleeping with the whole dorm.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I've talked about this B in my life before. But anyway, clearly she did me dirty and it still hurts me. But I remember one day we was about to hang out and I was like, yo, I'm going to the liquor store. You want something? And mind you, this is college. I don't have a job, whatever. And she goes, yo, get the big bottle of Ciroc, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is not when Mike was buying Ciroc when it was $17. This is after Diddy did his Diddy thing.
And promoted it.
And now it's $40 a bottle, right? So spending $40 on liquor, back in the day when you used to try to drink the whole bottle in one night and you wake up throwing up hungover, I just didn't have the money. So I was like, oh, damn, I don't even buy myself Ciroc. So I asked her which flavor she wanted. She said, oh, I don't know. And I said, what you mean? She said, oh, I ain't never had it before. I said, so why the hell you got me buying a $40 bottle of some shit you don't even buy yourself and you ain't never had? Oh, well, I just thought this would be a great opportunity. So I do understand Shannon's point of, yo, people will shoot for the stars just because they know you got it.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, not even know you got it, right? They just know they're not paying.
Facts.
Yeah. So, I look, and I mean, women have always said that what they want, right? They want you to plan the date. That's all.
Yeah. Mike already gave y'all his feelings on where you should plan dates at. Or the
I
first
told
date.
Y'all. Yeah. Drinks.
Me,
Drinks.
I don't fucking know.
Drinks.
I guess. I ain't dated in so long, man. Plus, you gonna know what to do when it's a girl you really want to be with.
Exactly.
Let's start.
And if she really want to be with you, like you going above and beyond, like doing something spectacular, isn't really even going to be required of you.
Yeah, and Shannon did have this part in there. I didn't play it when he was like, yo, if I start at a 10, I got to go higher every time we date. And Kirk Franklin, I do believe this is the part about him being married too long. He was like, nah, because you could take her at a 10 spot and let her know that I can't do this all the time. Let's go to 5s and 4. That don't really work.
Kirk Franklin, definitely a man that's been married 27 years. Yeah, not going to work.
That shit do not work, especially not in 2024, what we're about to get to. Tinder got a $500 tier. Imagine spending, what's that times 12?
$6,000.
$6,000 a year not to get laid.
What are they going to sell at the $500 tier?
I don't know. Probably. It has to be one of them services. I told you about that.
Are they going to I don't know. Guarantee a hookup?
You got to come with a hooker. I tell that story about all the time. Was during the pandemic, I worked for a dating company. And they did everything for you on this thing. They wrote it was only for men, so that's why I'm saying it like this. They wrote the woman for you. They set up the profile for you. They wrote everything. They even told you what you were going to wear to your first date, and they planned your first date. And the guy who I worked for, he was an older white gentleman. He sold his condo in Uptown to go move, and he bought a house on the lake. So it's people who got money.
Yeah.
I don't see nobody spending $6,000 that's in college who on Tinder.
Absolutely not.
Also, I mean, I don't know. I would love to know how many people gonna do this. They're gonna have to roll this out and give a certain amount of people 30 days free.
I can't wait to hear about it. I want to know what it is.
I don't know, man.
That's all I got, man.
I just want to know. To close out the podcast, man, I am proud to say it's a couple things we need to leave in 2023. And this list, I'm going to come back next week with a longer list. I want to start with Megan and Tory. I am done.
Yeah, I'm done with this story.
We're not talking about y'all in 2024.
We're not.
I don't believe shit that come from Tory. I don't believe shit that come from Meg.
Yeah.
Meg getting mad at Party for talking about some shit that she told us about is insane to me. It's insane. And I think both of y'all corny for still talking on it. And then I know the world, especially black men and women, I do love how we both come to this conclusion that we're never going to talk about Blueface and Krishan, and we're going to act like they don't exist. Yo, I can't wait for him to get locked up because he's going to jail. He's going to jail for, I think it was like attempted murder or some shit.
I think it was a gun charge in Vegas, right?
Yeah, well, he shot at somebody outside the strip club. So I can't wait for that to whatever that charge is and he goes to jail for. I cannot wait. The fact that you brung a woman up on stage and you push her to the ground so that your baby mom could beat her ass, his second baby mom or whatever Jordan name is, like that to me is so disgusting. But
we can leave Blueface behind in 23.
We're going to. I'm just letting y'all know that now.
And Krishan,
please. And yo, one day we're gonna have to talk about how we ain't gonna do it here, but how Blueface is the one who exposed Offset allegedly cheating to Cardi.
We need more details.
Nah, Blueface said it. He was like, yo, Krishan was cheating with Offset. Here's the date, time, and locations. Check his phone. Cardi did that, and then she went online.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah, well, that's because black folks like to act like Blueface and Krishan don't. Last thing, I know you'll get kicked out of this. That whole Zeus network, we're gonna leave that. Zeus is
agreed.
Agreed. The girl on there at damn, I keep forgetting her. Natalie Nunn went up to Park in DC and they told her she can't bring that shit up in there.
Hey man, I've been to Park. I agree with Park.
Absolutely. That's why I knew you'll get a joke out of it.
Yeah. Like, I agree with Park. Yeah, let's leave Zeus behind too.
Hey, what you got planned this weekend?
Nothing too much, man. Taking it easy, bro. Taking it easy. Shout out to Sierra calling the podcast right now. Anyway, I ain't doing nothing this weekend. If you see me outside, you saw me outside. There will not be a pod before Christmas. No. So with that, Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. If you don't celebrate it, don't get online and bitch about it. I do believe you do not celebrate Christmas. You shouldn't be allowed to ask for it off during off from work. That is a thought of mine. I disagree. All holidays you should be off.
Oh, you should be off, but you shouldn't request it off. If you don't celebrate this day, don't request it off. But that's just me. Mind you, I work for myself. And I ain't got no... Y'all got a holiday party? Let us pull up.
Nah, we don't.
What kind of company? You know what?
Mike, that's all we got.
Look, and with that, we're going to holler at y'all next time.
Holler at your boy.